we're here at the house of Caiaphas, the place where Peter denied Jesus 3 times. This is the account of Peter's denial. The story ends here, but it begins in the upper room hours before. We'll do this gospel reading in parts. Okay. A reading from the gospel according to St. Luke. Jesus told his apostles, "Behold, the hand of my betrayer is with me on the table. And truly the Son of Man goes as it has been determined. But woe to that man by whom he is betrayed." Now a short time later, there was a dispute among the apostles as to which one of them should be considered the greatest. And Jesus said to them, "The kings of the Gentiles exercise lordship over them, and those who exercise authority over them are called benefactors, but not so among you. On the contrary, who is the greatest among you shall be considered the least, and he who governs as to he who serves. For I am among you as the one who serves." And we'll interject here just how strange it is that right after Jesus tells his apostles he's about to be betrayed, they start discussing who's the greatest among them. This is what Jesus had to put up with. And look at people today. Are we any better? Jesus reaches out to us and we concern ourselves with trivialities. But let's return to the Gospel of St. Luke. And the Lord said to Peter, "Simon, Simon, indeed Satan had asked for you, that he may sift you as wheat, but I have prayed for you, that your faith should not fail." And Peter said to Jesus, "Lord, I am ready to go with you both to prison and to death." And Jesus replied, "I tell you, Peter, the rooster shall not crow this day before you will deny me 3 times. Now we move forward a little bit. The Passover meal is over. Jesus has suffered his agony in the Garden of Gethsemane, and now he has been taken prisoner. And Peter is outside of the courtyard of the high priest, and we continue reading the gospel. After arresting Jesus, they led him away and took him into the house of the high priest. Peter was following at a distance. They lit a fire in the middle of the courtyard and sat around it, and Peter sat down with them. When a maid saw him seated in the light, she looked intently at him and said, "This man also was with him." But Peter denied it, saying, "Woman, I do not know him." A short while later, someone else saw him and said, "You too are one of them." And Peter answered, "My friend, I am not." About an hour later, still another insisted, "Assuredly this man too was with him, for he also is a Galilean." But Peter said, "My friend, I do not know what you're talking about." Just as he was saying this, the cock crowed, and the Lord turned and looked at Peter, and Peter remembered the words the Lord had said to him, "Before the cock crows 3 times you will deny me." Peter went out and began to weep bitterly. The Gospel of the Lord. So Jesus predicted that Peter would deny him, and Peter did. Unlike that betrayer Judas, Peter chose the path of repentance rather than that of despair. We have heard lots of commentary on Peter's denial of Jesus, but I would like to focus on one small aspect, the significance of the rooster. Okay. Psalm 23 tells us that God guides us along the right paths. When we stray from this path, God calls us back. Of course, we will only hear the call if we are listening. Jesus told Peter, "I tell you, the rooster shall not crow this day before you deny 3 times that you know me." And now Peter, fearful and forgetting the brave words he had spoken a few hours ago, has just denied knowing Jesus. He has strayed from the path. And how does Jesus call him back? The rooster crows, and the words of Jesus are pushed back to the front of his mind. "I tell you, Peter, before the rooster crows." Peter is startled. How could he deny Jesus? How can we? It's hard to stay on the right path. Do not fool yourself and think maybe Peter denied Jesus, but I never will. We all deny Jesus every day in many small and sometimes not so small ways. Fortunately, Jesus sends subtle reminders to bring us back. Be attentive. Maybe there's a rooster crowing for you right now. Do not be afraid to let Jesus call you back as many times as he needs to. Thank you.